Welcome back to the Deep Dive.
Good to be here.
So today we are wading into waters that a lot of people think are crystal clear.
Shimmering, inviting, full of promise.
Exactly. But they're actually incredibly deep and, well, frankly, a little dangerous if you don't know how to swim.
Right.
We're talking about the side of meditation and spiritual practice that, doesn't usually make it onto the glossy brochure.
It's a topic that we see discussed in, hushed tones in the back of yoga studios, or worse, it's just completely misunderstood.
Yeah.
People chase a higher state, but they often don't realize that going high requires a really serious foundation.
Exactly. I want to start with a scenario that I think a lot of our listeners might recognize, or at least have heard about.
Okay.
Let's say you start a new meditation practice. Maybe you download an app where you go on a 10-day retreat. You're putting in the work.
Yeah.
And suddenly it happens.
The gift drops.
Yes. You feel lighter. Your mind is razor sharp. Maybe you see flashes of light or feel this intense heat, this vibration in your spine.
Yeah.
You feel like you've finally woken up.
It's euphoric. It's the honeymoon phase of practice.
Totally.
And it's very seductive because it feels like validation. You think, finally, I'm getting somewhere, I'm doing it right.
Right. You think, I've arrived, I am enlightened.
Yeah.
But then
comes the crash.
And we are not talking about just feeling a little tired or needing a nap.
No, not at all.
We are talking about insomnia, where you're wide awake for 3 days straight, just staring at the ceiling. Your heart is racing like you've downed 10 espressos back to back.
Your emotions are all over the place.
Oh, yeah. One minute you're weeping at a car insurance commercial, the next you're furious at your spouse for just breathing too loudly.
And often your ability to function in the, quote, real world, your job, your logic, your relationships, it all just starts to crumble.
Right. You find yourself unable to focus on a spreadsheet or forgetting to pick the kids up from school because it all seems so, I don't know, trivial.
Compared to what you're feeling inside, yeah.
So naturally, people hit this wall and think, I'm broken, or I've done something wrong, or maybe even I have bad karma. But looking at the stack of research we have today, that isn't the case at all, is it?
No, it's not. What you're describing is a documented phenomenon. It's often called a spiritual emergency.
Spiritual emergency.
And what's so fascinating here is that it's not necessarily a spiritual failure. It's a biological crisis. We need to stop looking at this purely through a mystical lens.
Angels and demons.
Right. And start looking at it through a physiological one. Put simply, your body's voltage has become too high for its current wiring.
Wow, that is such a crucial distinction. It's not a punishment, it's a wiling issue.
Exactly.
So our mission for this deep dive is to unpack this dark side of awakening. We want to give you a safety map. If there is one mantra for today, it's this: stable before deep.
Stable before deep. It sounds so simple, but it is the one step most people try to skip because stability feels boring compared to the fireworks of depth.
Okay, let's unpack the engine behind this. In the classical texts, this energy is usually called kundalini. And usually when you hear that, you get this image of a sleeping snake coiled at the base of the spine waiting to rise up. It sounds very mythological.
It does, and that imagery is beautiful poetry.
Yep.
But for a modern person experiencing a crisis, it can be a little distracting.
Not helpful, yeah.
If we look at this through a bioenergetic lens, just forget the snake for a moment. Think of Kundalini as a high-intensity bioelectrical current.
Okay.
It represents the raw life force potential stored in the human body.
I love the analogy one of the sources uses here, the house's electrical system.
A great one.
So imagine your body is a standard house. You've got your wiring, your fuse box, all your appliances. In normal life boiling water, watching TV, you're running on standard voltage, let's say 220 volts.
Correct. The system is designed for that load. It's comfortable, the lights stay on, the fridge hums, everything just works.
But then you start intensive spiritual practice. Hours of breath work, deep meditation, maybe you're fasting. It's like you go out to the street, find the main high-tension power line.
Coming directly from the power plant.
Right, thousands of volts. And you bypass the transformer to plug it directly into your kitchen toaster.
And we all know what happens to the toaster.
It does not toast the bread faster.
No. Pop. It explodes.
Exactly. If the wires, which in this analogy are your nervous system or the foundation, your physical body, your psychological health, if they aren't upgraded first, the fuse blows.
And in the human body, blowing a fuse isn't just a metaphor. It looks like physical tremors, irrational fear, feeling like you are literally floating out of your body.
That ungrounded feeling.
Yeah, that sense where you can't tell what's real and what isn't.
So the key takeaway here is that the problem isn't the energy itself. The energy is just power. It's neutral.
The problem is the container. The body isn't ready for the content.
You cannot pour high voltage current into low voltage wiring.
Not without consequences. And this brings us to the structure of how this energy is supposed to move and where it often goes wrong. We need to talk about the chakras.
Right.
But not in the rainbow colors, new age sense that can put some people off.
Let's strip away the woo-woo for a second. In our sources, the experts suggest looking at chakras as the operating system of life, like a hierarchy of needs inside the body.
Yes. Think of them as zones of function, almost like floors in that house we were talking about.
Okay.
And the most critical zone for safety, the one we really need to focus on today, is the foundation. That's chakras 1, 2, and 3.
Okay, let's walk through these because this really acts as a diagnostic checklist for you listening.
Right.
Chakra 1 is the root. This is the basement, base survival.
It's the hardware. Safety, money, food, shelter. The question you have to ask yourself here is, do you feel safe in the world? Or are you constantly in survival mode?
If you are worried about where your next meal is coming from.
Or if you feel physically unsafe in your home, your root is unstable.
It's really hard to meditate on universal love when you're terrified of eviction or can't pay your electric bill.
Impossible. Your nervous system is scanning for threats, not for enlightenment. You can't bypass biology.
Then we move up to chakra 2, the sacral.
Emotion and pleasure.
And the question here is, can you handle happiness? Or do you just drown in your feelings? Are you addicted to drama?
A great question. Then chakra 3, the solar plexus. This is confidence, boundaries. Can you look someone in the eye and say, no?
These 3. This is the base.
This is the base. And the danger zone, the pattern I see over and over again in the literature, is that people want to skip the base. They want to get to the cool stuff.
The third eye, the crown chakra, the visions, the bliss.
The cosmic downloads, all of it.
They want the penthouse view,
Yeah.
but they haven't poured the concrete for the ground floor yet.
Exactly. They are trying to open the roof while the basement is flooded. They might be in debt, fighting with their partner constantly, skipping meals, sleeping 4 hours a night.
But they're meditating for 3 hours a day, trying to reach nirvana.
And the result is what the source material calls big head, withered legs syndrome.
It's a vivid image, isn't it?
It sounds like a caricature.
It's gruesome, but it sticks with you.
Because it's true. You have these profound cosmic visions, your head is in the clouds, totally bloated with energy and ideas, but your legs, your ability to stand on the earth, pay bills, handle conflict, they're withered. You become ungrounded.
And an ungrounded person is not enlightened.
They're unstable.
That is a harsh truth, but a necessary one. Now let's get into the plumbing, the mechanics of this flow. If the chakras are the hard drive, the sources talk about nadis, or energy channels, as the cables.
Right. So imagine 3 main pipes running up the spine. On the left, you have Ida. This corresponds to the moon. It's cold energy, emotion, thought, the subconscious.
And on the right.
On the right, you have Pingala, the sun. Hot energy, action, logic, heat.
And in the center.
Sushumna. This is the central channel of balance. This is where the energy is supposed to flow for a healthy awakening.
But when we force things, or when we aren't balanced, the energy spills, right? It goes into the side pipes because the center isn't clear.
And it creates a very predictable set of symptoms depending on which way it spills.
Okay.
If the energy spills to the left into the lunar channel, you get the cold symptoms, depression, excessive sensitivity, getting lost in dreams or fantasies. You just drift away into a fog.
You feel spaced out.
Very spaced out, like you aren't really in the room.
And if it spills to the right?
That's the solar side. You get manic energy, insomnia, an inflated ego thinking you're a god or the chosen one.
Oh, that's a big one.
Huge agitation, intense heat in the body. You just burn out.
So the goal isn't just more energy, it's getting the energy into the center channel.
The term to remember is alert calmness. True awakening isn't about vibrating so hard you can't hold a fork.
Right.
It's about a state of high awareness that is perfectly calm. And that balance comes from consistency and a strong lifestyle base, not from forcing the voltage up with intense practices you weren't ready for.
Okay, so let's say there's a listener right now thinking, uh-oh, my fuse is blowing. I'm seeing the symptoms.
I'm either drifting into the fog or I'm manic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What is the protocol? We have a safety map here. Base, regulate, integrate. Let's start with layer 1, the body base.
If you're in a spiritual emergency, the first thing you do is treat the biology. Forget the philosophy for a moment.
Just biology.
Look at your diet. If you are feeling floaty or ungrounded, this is not the time for fasting or light salads. you need grounding foods.
The sources specifically mention root vegetables, potatoes, taro, beets, and protein. Heavy food.
Yes, digestion takes a lot of energy. Heavy food pulls the blood and energy from the head down into the gut. It literally weighs you down. It signals to the body that you're here on Earth eating a potato.
And sleep. The sources say it's completely non-negotiable.
Sleep is when the nervous system repairs the insulation on those wires. If you aren't sleeping, you cannot sustain the voltage, period. You have to prioritize rest over practice.
And then there's earthing. Now, this sounds a little woo-woo, but there is actual physics behind it, isn't there?
Simple physics. Walking barefoot on grass or soil helps discharge excess electrical charge from the body. It literally changes the body's electrical potential.
It sounds too simple to work.
But if you are feeling manic, 10 minutes barefoot on the grass can act like a pressure valve releasing steam.
Okay, moving to layer 2, the nervous system. We've talked about the hardware, now the software. There is a specific breathing technique mentioned, but it's different from the breath of fire stuff that gets you high.
Yes, do not do breath of fire or any kind of hyperventilation if you are already unstable. That's like adding gasoline to the fire.
Right.
When we are anxious or ungrounded, we tend to take short, shallow breaths. To signal safety to the ancient part of the brain, we need to extend the exhalation. The ratio is key. Inhale for 4 counts, but exhale for 6 or 8 counts.
Long exhalations trigger the parasympathetic nervous system, the brake pedal.
Exactly. And another tool is touch. If you feel like you are dissolving or losing touch with reality, physically grab the edge of a table, hug yourself, squeeze your arms.
Feel the physical boundaries of your body.
Remind your brain, I'm here, I have a form, I am solid.
And layer 3, integration. This is my favorite because it's just so mundane.
It has to be mundane, that's the whole point. Do the dishes, sweep the floor, fold laundry, hand wash your car.
So why does cleaning the kitchen help with the spiritual crisis?
Because it pulls energy from the head down to the hands and feet. It forces you to engage with the physical reality of the present moment. You can't be flying in the astral plane while you're scrubbing a burnt pot.
It anchors you.
It anchors you. It tells your system that you are capable of functioning in this reality.
The expert source also offers a traffic light check for self-diagnosis. I think this is a great tool for listeners to stick on their fridge.
It's a simple check-in to keep you safe. Green light. You're sleeping well, you are kind to others, you are functional, paying your bills. Go. Keep going with your practice.
And yellow light.
Yellow light. You startle easily at loud noises, your emotions are swinging wild, your dreams are vivid and disturbing, maybe you're feeling a bit superior to others. This means slow down immediately.
Immediately.
Eat heavy, sleep more, stop the intense meditation.
And red light.
Red light is insomnia, paranoia, hallucinations, hearing voices, inability to distinguish reality. This means stop everything.
Everything.
Stop the practice, seek professional help. Do not try to meditate through it.
That is vital advice. Don't be a hero with your mental health.
Yeah.
Now, before we wrap up, we have to talk about the mind games. The source calls these the 5 traps.
Because even if you know the safety protocols, your brain will try to trick you into ignoring them.
The mind is clever.
Very clever at protecting its own importance. The first trap is the spiritual ego. This is the voice that says, I am the chosen one. I am seeing things no one else sees.
I don't need to sleep because I am transcending biology.
Yes. Oh, that's a dangerous one. Because the moment you think you're special, you stop learning. You stop listening.
You become unteachable.
Then there is the spiritual bypass. This is using concepts like letting go, or it's all an illusion, as an excuse to ignore your credit card debt.
Or the fact that you're being a jerk to your partner.
I don't need to do the dishes, man. I'm transcending matter.
Right.
That's not spirituality, that's avoidance. Then you have over-intensity, forcing the process, like holding your breath to induce a state, or intentional sleep deprivation. And finally, isolation.
Thinking no one understands me, so you withdraw from friends and family.
Which just creates a feedback loop of delusion. You have no one to reality check you. You're alone in the echo chamber of your own mind.
We need community.
We need community to stay grounded. We need people to tell us when we're acting weird.
So let's make this practical. The source outlines a 7-day protocol, a challenge for our listeners to rebuild that foundation.
And the best part is, it's only 10 minutes a day.
That's it.
It's designed to gently rebuild that foundation. It has 3 parts. First, ground for 3 minutes. Feel your feet on the floor. Do the long exhale, breathing 4 in, 8 out. Second, open for 4 minutes. Place a hand on your heart. Ask yourself one question. What truth must I accept today?
Not about the universe, but about you.
About you. Maybe the truth is I'm tired or I'm angry.
Right. And third.
Third, integrate for 3 minutes. Do one real-world task. Send the email you've been avoiding. Clean your desk. Water the plants.
Ground, open, integrate. It's manageable. It's not about sitting in a cave for a month.
No. If you can't do it for 10 minutes, you aren't ready for 10 hours. You have to master the small things before you can handle the big things.
So what does this all mean? It seems like we are circling back to a very paradoxical idea. The best way to go high is to go low.
That is the core truth. Spiritual practices are maps for walking on the earth, not escape hatches to flee from it. If you want to go deep, you must first be stable.
You have to earn your wings by growing your roots deep into the ground.
I love that.
The highest power isn't levitation or reading minds or seeing colorful lights. It's the ability to live happily, functionally, and kindly in the real world.
And to handle the voltage of life, the stress, the joy, the grief without blowing a fuse. That is true mastery.
We're going to leave you with a thought to chew on this week. It's a bit of a challenge. Look at your practice, look at your life. If your spiritual practice is making you less relatable to your family, less patient with your friends, and less capable of doing your own laundry, ask yourself, are you actually waking up, or are you just dreaming a more complicated dream?
That is the question.
Thanks for diving deep with us. Stay grounded, everyone.
Take care.